The philosophical work I decided to analyze is The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. This essay presents us the philosophy of the absurd. This is a particular idea that Camus quickly became known for later in life and tried to detract himself from, just as he did from the philosopher title. This essay is split into 4 parts, and I analyzed the first. The first section focused on the introduction to the idea of the absurd, with a question that led to further thought-out analysis that is able to show deductive reasoning on how we as humans find so much of our meaning in life in the world that is unchanging and unyielding to our own powers. Since the work is considerably more modern than works from Plato and works from Socrates, it is easier to understand. For me, reading philosophical works is daunting because it sometimes has language that is usually so flowery that it's hard to analyze and understand. This was not the case. Camus began the essay with a pure statement of, quote, "There is but one truly serious philosophical problem, and that is suicide." And then he began to build up on that. While a good amount of the first chapter was about this, I was able to grasp his idea of humans depending so much on the earth, who in return offers nothing and unchanging silence. The world does not help us, but we as humans always long for change and meaning in it. If we are whimsical and look for meaning in life through unconventional ways, we are not going to find it. If we try to rationalize everything to find a meaning in life, we cannot find it either. That brings suicide into the question. If life has no meanings, why shouldn't man deduce himself to suicide? The answer comes to a surprise in which we must stay alive in order for these ideas and thoughts to even exist. For me, the work was an interesting paradox into how we must find value in life. When I think of my life and where I'm going and where I have meaning, I look into the world and see the potential. But according to Camus, the world is unchanging. It does not yield to us. It survives hundreds and thousands of generations, and it will continue. It put this kind of thinking into perspective for me that made me want to change ourselves rather than the world. Seeing that this work was written in 1942, in the middle of World War II, the world found itself at a dead-end road of misery and suffering. When superpower countries are at war, the future seems unclear. The world Camus was viewing was not a picture-perfect vision, as one side of the world was fighting for change and the other side was fighting against it. The equilibrium in the middle that was founded was where this idea may have been born from. While we have wars, disputes, and arguments and agreements, the world remains the same, unchanging and unyielding to one side. The problem was all the problems of the world are man-made. The United States at the moment in 2017 is the world of our politics is under massive scrutiny due to a new type of administration that has just been established, and majority of the citizens are unhappy. The citizens demand active change for the world's future, but according to Camus, the world is still unchanging and unyielding. It is why people bring it up to themselves to take initiative, to take actions for their views and make sure they are heard. Camus's ideas still take shape in today's world, but it is to an extent because the world has not changed. The people have changed. The world still has not changed. I do agree with him to a certain extent. I do believe to a certain extent we are hopeless and waver to the world, but we can change it in a way that alters the view of the world. While the world is unchanging, it does not give its own voice. We give it the voice. So if the world does not want to care about us humans, it truly does not matter. We control the narrative and make it fit in a way that we are granted independence from the world and prosper in it instead. In the end, the truth is not as important as the will to stay alive to see the world is.